Update from our producer here that 700 homes are under evacuation orders right now from that Rowena fire, which is just being fueled by wind.
It really is. The winds are definitely starting to pick up. Again, this is out towards the Dalles area. Just some incredible images coming in. One of our viewers, Tito Rodriguez, sending in the smoke plumes that are now billowing out of that Rowena fire. You can really just see it across the Dalles area, of course, with that latest update from Liz as well. Let's go ahead and check in on the two fires that are currently burning along I-84, one of which is in the northern sections of Oregon, but also parts of southwest Washington, dealing with the fires as those wind gusts are nearing almost 45 miles per hour out towards the Dalles. They are coming out of the Columbia River Gorge, so that means they are warming up and they are speeding up. They're the downsloping winds now, just for the folks on the east side of the mountains, as relative humidity values still remain dangerously low. So the winds, they are expected to taper back, but still quite gusty through the early morning hours, falling into the mid 20 mile per hour range before they are expected to ramp back up again tomorrow afternoon and evening. Again, this is a timestamp for the Dalles over the next 12 to 24 hours as the dial for the fire danger is pushed back up to the low to moderate category for today. You can see it's primarily east of the Cascades, the eastern sections of Washington and Oregon as well. It comes, unfortunately, as no surprise as the warm temperatures mid-60s right now out towards the Mount Hood Meadows area, and you can just see all of the snow that has already melted. And for Timberline Lodge, just looking at the difference, which we typically see snow start to melt in the month of May into June, but at last measured down almost 30 inches, comparatively speaking, to where we have been. And it's also been dry. 7 days now adding up with no measurable rainfall for the Rose City. That's picking up at just a little bit more than 1/10 of an inch. Adding insult to injury, not a lot of rain. Now starting to see lightning firing up out towards the eastern sections of our state, which is less than ideal. That could potentially start and spread brand new wildfires. So we will keep a close eye on that. It's just the high, thin cirrus clouds find their way back into western Oregon, southwest Washington. That's where temperatures are suffering, down anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees out towards the west. And for places like LeGrand earlier this afternoon, down nearly 20 degrees. With a live look over the hazy skies of downtown Portland, 73 degrees is where we currently sit, and we'll continue to mix in some of those clouds through the rest of the night. All as this trough of cooler air ushers in cooler temperatures and a few more clouds into our area for Thursday into Friday. And then we slowly start to warm things back up again before maybe a slim chance for some wet weather for western Oregon and southwest Washington. All as the clouds are starting to increase across our area tonight. We'll see much of the same tomorrow. A few breaks in those high, thin cirrus clouds to enjoy some sunshine. But by the time we get to Friday afternoon, we start to cloud up those skies again. That's going to help to keep those temperatures into the low 70s. Tonight, 50 degrees is where we expect to fall to with increasing clouds. Tomorrow, 75 degrees is our end goal with a mix of the sun and those high, thin clouds, as our 7-day forecast does keep that dry stretch of weather going all the way through the Father's Day weekend. Temperatures bouncing back up into the low 80s, but then you'll notice we start to increase the clouds for the start of next week. Still holding on to the 80s, but then we taper our temperatures back into the mid to upper 70s, still above average, but the chance of rain does return. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a super soaker event and likely struggling to push its way east of the Cascades, kind of acting like that barrier for us, but any amount of moisture would be a good sight.
Yeah, we see those fires today out near the gorge around the Dalles, shutting down I-84, and you think, is this what the summer's going to be like?
Yeah,